Hi guys, in this episode of DREAMCATCHER, I am excited to be checking out the newest DREAMCATCHER album, Apocalypse from Us. Now, after checking out the title track of this album, I am still kind of left at least slightly disappointed that we didn't really get a complete triple set of title tracks which kind of had the same idea and the same concept kind of executed, I guess, with slightly different vibes, because to me, Mason and Vision, as different of songs as they are, still feel like they're kind of part of the same album series, whereas Bon Voyage just doesn't. It feels like potentially the next direction they could go in with their music, but it doesn't really feel like the same, like it's part of the same series of albums. So I'm really hoping that amongst the 3 songs that we're going to be checking out from this album, which is how many songs we have beside the title track and the intro, with those 3 songs being Demian, Propose, Into You, I'm hoping that amongst one of these 3 songs we're going to have something more akin to what I expected the title track to be like. Again, I want to make it clear, I did enjoy Bon Voyage quite a lot. I think it was a good song. I just feel like it should have been, I guess, the next comeback, not this one, because I'm still feeling a little bit unsatisfied in terms of just getting 3 songs in the same style. And I guess they actually did something relatively similar with the 3 songs of their Dystopia series. There were 3, right? I don't quite remember, but regardless, I still feel a little bit unsatisfied because of that. So I'm hoping that there's gonna be at least one song amongst these 3 that is, I guess, gonna feel the hole that I'm missing, that I'm having because of this album. So I guess without further ado, we should just get into it and find out. So we're gonna be starting it off, obviously, with the first song, Demian, which is the one song that I expect I'm gonna be liking from this album, and not because I don't really see myself liking the other 2 songs based on their titles. I expect that they're gonna be ballads, so this is the only one which is potentially gonna be something a little bit more hard-hitting and more my style. Because, again, as much as I like the title track and I think it's a good song, I do feel like maybe there was a little bit too much singing. More singing than I'm used to from DREAMCATCHER, that's for sure. So I'm hoping, I guess, to get something a little bit more akin to what we usually get from them in that regard in this song. So without further ado, let's get into it and find out in 3, 2, 1. I don't know if I'm really just imagining, but just like the title track, this kind of reminds me of ATs. And again, I know they share some of the same producers or whatever, but it shouldn't be that much of a strong vibe. Definitely a very in-your-face kind of song. I might have to listen to it a second time to really get it, because it feels a little bit all over the place right now. I love how rough it is though, and hard hitting. I do like that about it. I think I might end up loving it quite a lot, but on the first listen, it's not an easy song to like, I will tell you that. And yeah, it is definitely closer to what I thought the title track was gonna be like for this album. It's still not what I wanted it to be though, because it's not quite as catchy as a title track. Oh, why is it so short? I hate that shit, man. I fucking really do. Why? That is such bullshit. I'm so fucking done with this trend of songs being less than 3 minutes. The bare fucking minimum for a song should be 3 minutes. You can't be a song if you're less than 3 minutes. Like, what is this shit? Disney Channel? That's the kind of shit I expect from Disney Channel. That's how songs in shows like fucking Austin and Ali was. Because they, I guess, didn't have the time to shove in a 3-minute song. They did just like a half of it or whatever. Same thing happened, I guess, on Nickelodeon's Big Time Rush, but I hate that shit. Like, why are we doing that for actual real-life songs as well? Just do a 3-minute song. God damn it. At least it's almost 3 minutes, and it's not like they really waste any time in the song, but god damn it, I hate that. But yeah, getting into the song itself and how I feel about it, I think it's okay. I think there's a big likelihood that after I listen to it a couple of more times outside of the reaction, I probably will end up enjoying it quite a lot, and might even become one of my favorites, because it definitely has that potential to grow with how hard-hitting it is and everything, but there are definitely issues that I have when it comes to this song. I feel like it's kind of the opposite issue that I have for the title track, whereas the title track, I guess it's a little bit too melodic for my tastes of Dreamcatcher music. I feel like this one is maybe a little bit too hard and not melodic enough. Because to me, the perfect song is usually a perfect blend of hard-hitting and melodic, with the melodic parts managing to kind of connect together all the hard-hitting parts. That's the perfect song for me. And I feel like both of these songs fail to hit those that perfect spot, but for different reasons. And I honestly can't really say which one is closer, because again, they're just failing at the opposite things, I feel like. And maybe failing is a strong word. I just feel like the fact that they're not hitting it in these particular ways is really bothering me about them. But yeah, I do enjoy how hard-hitting it is. I enjoyed hearing a little bit of rapping from Sua, at least it sounded like rapping, but I feel like it's lacking in catchiness a little bit, and some of the English lines and the way they're pronounced are a little bit awkward and just kind of bother me. That's why I'm not really a big fan of rapping in English in K-pop songs, because that just almost never fucking comes off well. For singing, I can kinda, I guess, digest it more easily, but rapping is very hard to take when it's in English and it's not really well done. The only group that I feel like has managed to do that well in English is Stray Kids, because they have two very, basically, I mean, pretty sure they're native English speakers. So they managed to do that shit fine, and especially Bangchan's rapping in English is actually really, really good, and in my opinion, debatably better than his Korean rapping, but it's a topic for another video. And that's one of the major things that kind of bothers me about this song, but I feel like these kind of things can get ironed out the more I listen to this song, so I'm not gonna harp on them too much about it, but it's still not quite what I wanted, I guess, but it's an okay song, like, I like it. It's fine. Now, if the other two songs are genuinely ballads like how I expect them to be, this song is probably gonna jump far more in my in entertainment value for me, because usually I kind of want to have at least one song in addition to the title track of an album to be able to add to my playlist and enjoy. So by the nature of the other two songs not being something that I want to listen to, this one might end up being on my playlist and thus be considered good in my eyes, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Based on how I feel about this song right now, I would give it an 8.4 out of 10. It's a decently enjoyable song, but I feel like we've gotten far better songs that are better executed from Dreamcatcher. Like, it's not bad, but it's like, it feels more like par for the course K-pop song than a Dreamcatcher song, which in general kind of feels like it is the case for this comeback, because the title track did feel more like a K-pop song rather than a Dreamcatcher song. But yeah, we still have two more songs to check out, so without further ado, let's get into the next one. Propose in 3, 2, 1. Okay, this one is starting off pretty well. Okay, I'm liking it. Please don't fail. Wait, I just realized this song is in English. What the hell? Hell yeah. I love that. See how much better it is when she raps in Korean, dude. She's killing it. I feel like a better name for this song would have been something like Love's a Curse or something. Because I feel like Propose is not a good one. Yeah, this might be my favorite song of this album. It's definitely going to be the song that I'm adding to my playlist, out of the B-sides. I'm glad they're not forgetting about their international audience, and they're feeding us something as good as this. Oh, good. And this song is also above 3 minutes. Slightly above, but at least above 3 minutes. I'll take it. Okay, now this is more like what I was wanting from this album. I'm really happy with this one. The only thing that can make this song better is if it was, and I know it's kind of ironic considering that I said that I love the fact that they are feeding the international audience, but the one thing that can make this song better is if it was in Korean. Because it's a good song, I love the vibe, but with these English lyrics, it does kind of, I feel like, comes off more shallow than it actually is. Like, I know that that's probably basically what the song would have meant to say if it was in Korean. But the thing is, the songs being in Korean and me not being able to understand them really helps mask how shallow K-pop songs can be sometimes, because it's pop music at the end of the day, you know? Like, sure, there are groups with some really cool messages to their music and everything, but it's still pop music at the end of the day. And with me not really being able to understand Korean, it really helps mask that shallowness. And I'm not saying that this song is shallow, I'm just saying that reading the lyrics as I'm listening to it makes it feel a little bit shallower than it should be, really. With the kind of like edgy and like emo vibe that it kind of has to it, you know? And there's also the fact that some of the pronunciation and the flow of the English sentences feels a little awkward, which wouldn't be the case if it was in Korean, because I wouldn't know anyway. But yeah, that's literally the only thing that I can say is bad about this song. Otherwise, I love it. I love the vibe. I love the sound of it. I might have kind of made it, if I was making this song, I would have made it a little bit more hard-hitting and maybe slightly faster paced, because I don't think it needs to be like super energetic and fast paced to be good, but maybe just a slightly and more emphasized hard-hittingness and pacing would have made it even better. But as it stands, I think it's a really, really good song. I am genuinely like in love with this one. Again, I don't know if I'll necessarily go with a 10 out of 10 for this one, because again, I have issues and nitpicks, and it just doesn't quite blow me away as far as for me to give it a 10 out of 10. But I really, really like it, and I think it's a really good song. And because of that, I guess I'm gonna go with a 9.4 out of 10. It's just not quite as flawless enough to give it a 10 out of 10, but it is a good song, and debatably the best song of the album so far. Including the title track, that is, because I feel like this song's vibe over the course of the whole song manages to keep my attention more than even the title track, because the title track, as much as I like it and I think it's good, once again, like I said, the only parts that really kind of keep my attention is just the chorus. Like, the verses are kind of there for me. Like, I very easily overlook them and don't really care too much about them. They're not bad, don't get me wrong. I think they're good, and I don't mind hearing the girls sing more, but it just feels kind of underwhelming and forgettable at the end of the day. But this one manages to keep my attention, even if it's like a more slower paced song than even the singing in the title track, you know? But yeah, we still have one more song to check out before we're done with this album, which is kind of sad that this is this short of an album. But it is what it is. So without further ado, let's get into the final song of this album, To You, in 3, 2, 1. Now this one is definitely gonna be a ballad. Ooh, I like this part here. Why am I all of a sudden in the mood for a ballad? Like, I'm actually kind of genuinely enjoying this one. Like, I'm in the mood for a ballad, apparently. I guess it's because I've been feeling a little depressed. This is definitely better than I thought it was gonna be. Again, not because I think they suck at doing ballads or anything. It's because I just don't really care about ballads too much, you know? Yeah, the chorus of this ballad is really good. It's surprisingly catchy. Oh, I thought it was over and I was gonna be sad, honestly. Because I honestly have been enjoying this song quite a lot. Now it's gotta be over. Yep. Okay. A little bit of an abrupt ending, I gotta say, and it's definitely a little annoying. The one song that is the farthest away from my taste in music is the one that actually ends up being the longest. That is kind of annoying. But still, this was actually really, really fun to listen to. Usually, I feel like it's hard for me to really enjoy ballads, not because they're bad or because I can't enjoy ballads. In fact, a couple of years ago when I first started doing this YouTube channel, I was requested quite a few times to react to B2B, a notoriously ballad-heavy group, and they kind of made me, I guess, love ballads in a way. Not that I hated ballads before that, but specifically when it comes to K-pop music, they kind of made me open my mind to ballads a little bit more. And even despite that fact, I'm still like more reluctant to enjoy ballads than any other kind of K-pop songs in a way. So it takes a lot for me to really manage to enjoy a ballad, especially enough to be willing to like add it to my playlist of like favorite songs that I listen to every time I go somewhere with my car. And I feel like this one might have actually done that. It might have actually done that. And whatever my opinions of these songs are, I also want to make this clear. My opinions on this album are not concrete. Recently, a lot of my opinions on whatever song that I've reacted to on the channel or an album or whatever it may be really fucking tends to change so much after I've listened to it afterwards. Like, for example, my opinion on my recent reaction to August D's comeback and album. I've actually ended up enjoying pretty much all of the songs of that album, despite the fact that I criticized it honestly very heavily, and I said that I liked the last album that he did far more. So, despite the fact that I feel like Demian is not melodic enough, I feel like Propose would have been better as a song in Korean, and despite the fact that I say that this is a good song, that is surprisingly catchy, and that I will end up putting on my playlist of best songs, my opinion on this might change. I feel like this album is not quite as good as... I mean, I don't even remember too much of the last two albums because I've only listened to the title tracks and maybe like 1-2 songs out of the B-sides. So I don't really remember too much of them. But I kind of feel like this one At first I felt like this album was potentially gonna be worse than those, because I don't really feel like I got a single song out of the B-sides that is anywhere near as good as something like Fairy Tale, for example. Um, but at the same time, I kind of feel like the songs on average are better, because it kind of feels like for the last album, I guess, they, instead of making all the songs in the B-sides like really good, they just put all the effort in one of the songs and just kind of threw together like two more songs to fill up the album. Whereas here, I feel like more effort has been put in each of these songs separately, but none of these songs has gotten as much effort as, for example, Fairy Tale did. Does that make any sense to you? Like, I feel like the quality of this album is kind of spread around more between all the different songs, but doesn't really go quite as high as the quality of the previous albums. It's kind of weird to describe, but it is kind of how I feel about it. And it's kind of hard because of that to ultimately decide how I feel about it, because I don't like any of these songs anywhere near as much as Fairy Tale, but I like them more than the average B-sides of Dreamcatcher, or at least I find them more memorable. And I will probably end up trying to listen to all of these songs at least one more time outside of the reaction, to really see whether there's something for me to latch onto, to really like enjoy about them. Which might end up changing my opinion and make me fall in love with some of these more than the other ones and everything, but yeah, I don't know. Right now, I like all of these songs, but I don't quite love any of these songs, if that makes any sense to you. And that, again, applies for this one as well. I think it's a really catchy and emotional and memorable ballad. Probably one of their best ones, if I gotta be honest. But to be honest, I don't really remember too many of them anyway to really compare. But for what it is, I think it's actually pretty enjoyable. And honestly, I'm kind of gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I don't really think there's any flaw in this song. They did exactly what they were attempting to do with it. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what kind of music I enjoy. It matters whether the song that they were attempting to create, they managed to create it as best as they could. And I think they did that with this one. But yeah, I would have loved to listen to all of these songs one more time to really be able to kind of get a good grasp on them, but we don't really have the time for that. There's other videos I have to record and all that jazz, so we're gonna stick with just one listen. If one of these songs managed to impress me quite a lot, we would have gotten a second listen, but none of these ones really get quite as high, like I said. If we got a Fairy Tale like song, I would have listened to it twice, but we didn't, so we're gonna stick with one listen for these ones. But yeah, I am curious though, what do you guys think about this album? Do you like it more than the previous ones? Do you agree with my opinions? What are your thoughts in general? Comment all of your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 5 patrons on Patreon. Omar Richmond, Deadpool, Corby Dead, Dane Harty, and Peyton Jones. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, you have continued to support me in such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I am also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!